Yo, what's going on YouTube? This is Sunday night, like 11 p.m. right now. Really enjoying this new headset. This is, Beats by Dr. Dre, worth like 450 bucks, almost with the taxes 500 bucks. Really good voice and really helping me to make videos like this, really good quality. And I was targeting for this wireless one because, I use the Apple Watches and stuff. So I was targeting for this one, and today fortunately a guy was ready to trade with my Apple Watch Series 3, so I was happily gave it to him and got this one, because even if I don't get this, my target is to get an AirPod, Apple AirPod 2, but this one is much better than that, because AirPod 2 is like 200 bucks, but this is like 450, like 500 bucks. Yeah, really good, man. Really good quality. The sound I really like about this. And yeah, now I came for the night walk. Look at this Michigan, and looks really beautiful. And backside Carnival here, Windsor downtown. Carnival. It was busy when I come for evening, but now it's like almost shut down. I don't know, like Saturday, Sunday. When I came like evening, it was running here, but now it's closed. Okay, let's talk about our topic. This afternoon I was talking about, does God really exist? Most people say there's a God, and he is the one created everything and all the stuff. There are a bunch of books, bunch of gods, bunch of religions, but the truth is, does God really exist? Seems like we don't know. Like, I never seen a God, and there's nobody can be. It's not if it's like Newton's law. Newton's law, if it's proven, it can be accepted by all the people. But can the God be proven and can be accepted by all the people? Seems like it's not. It haven't done. So there are a bunch of gods and all the stuff, and yeah, and also if you see religion, like people follow religion based on the geographical location. If you're born in India, you are a Hindu. If you're born in Saudi Arabia, you are a Muslim. If you're born in America, most likely you are a Christian, something like that. And most people argue, like if there's a most people argue that whenever we say okay, why do you say there's a God, then they ask us, then how does this come from, like from who created these things? Yeah, that's a good question. But when it comes to God, okay, then if the God created all these things, then who created the God? That's another question. And also evolution. If you think about evolution, that's a question mark, because people say God came to the earth and created everyone by sand and something, but evolution seems to be scientifically proven. Almost, maybe the religions are preventing from accepting it 100%, but it seems to be true. Evolution is something true. So like religious people don't want it to be a law. It's still a theory, but it can be a law if it's 100% proven. But it's actually by looking at Richard Dawkins, all the talks. If you search Richard Dawkins on YouTube, you will see a bunch of videos from him about this atheism and stuff like that. Yeah, so like there are and also there's a physical evidence, like physics evidence shows that there's antimatter and matter. So from nothing, antimatter and matter can be created. So this universe should be coming from nothing. There's a possibility of universe begin like that. There's a possibility like that, and they are proving it using physics. So it's one of the topic, and today we are going to talk about what's the purpose of this existence. If you look at this, like, why this tree is blooming, why is there the trees, why there's animals, why everything going on, why do we have a bunch of religions, why people are here, what's the purpose, what we are trying to do, what we are trying to achieve, like if there's a God, if you say there's a religion, then you think, okay, this world is a test. This world is a test to see whether you are a good person or bad person. You know, there are a bunch of religions, and then you pass the test and go to paradise or something like that. But if there's a good no God, you will think about, okay, then okay, if you think you know, like when you are in religion, you are blinded to think certain things. Like you will never think what's the purpose of existence, because you believe to be this is a test, and you have to be a good person or bad person, and then you go to paradise or hell, something like that. But if you don't believe in religion, then the question might be, what's the purpose of this universe? What's the purpose? Yeah, something funny going around. So that's craziness. Okay, yeah, what's the purpose of this universe? Why is all this happening? Why the tree is growing? Why is the animals are there? Why we are here? Why we are here? In the deep, like why we have religions? Why then, you know, why there are a bunch of religions? Who created all these things? Seems to be like there's no point for this existence. There's no point. There's no point at all. So what's the use of this existence? Like if we want to make a meaning out of it, if we want to make a meaning out of it, the only thing we can think about is you know, live happily. That's the only thing we can think about, because other than that, seems like there's no point. There's no point in this life other than, you know, other than being happy. Like, yeah, that's the topic, existence. There's no point for this existence, man. I don't know why we exist. Why do we exist? Why do we all these things? Why do we try to achieve? Why do we trying to do all these things? Why are we doing all these things? What's the purpose? Seems like it's all nothing, man. At the end of the day, we are all gonna die. But you know, like we don't know, man, what's the reason for this existence. We can be just happy and think about, there are billions of stars, there are billions of do we have any other human life? Do we have any other things? Like, if the God is here, where is he? Where is he? Then if all the gods are if the all the gods in the universe is, I mean in the earth is created by human, then where are we coming from? Seems like nobody knows the real God is. Like, it all seems like human created theories, you know, because if there's a real God and if it's proven, everybody would have accepted by now. Still people are arguing. I mean, it's all still not proven, and most religions are getting outdated by time. Soon, you know, Christianity, Muslim, Hinduism, everything is going to be destroyed. Like, by time, everybody's going to be realizing that those religions also not true 100% by time. You know what I mean? Then the question comes, then what's the purpose of this existence? Who created us? What's the real core of this, all these things? If it's coming from nothing, where does nothing come from? Everything is crazy, man. It's all crazy. When I think about this, my skull, I don't know, man. When I think about this existence, I don't know, like, why we are here. Is there any alien life out there? Is there any aliens life living out there? What's the purpose? After we die, what's gonna happen? after we die, maybe we are gonna born again, or we are death for life. And if you see, when people die, new people are born. Are we going to born back again? Is reincarnation is true? Seems like it's gonna be. Did we born again? Like what happened before we born? Where were we? Where were we before we born? Are we born getting birth again and again and again? Because if you think, even if we die, we are going to be in the ground, and we are going to be, after a million years, it seems like we are going to come back, and it's all going to go again and again and again. It seems like that, because it's all mystery, man. Maybe we are going to go born again. We are going to be born again. We don't know. Maybe we were born before also, before we birth. Where were we? We should have born long ago. We never know, because even if we die and born again, we are going to feel like this, like we were never born before. And even if we dead, if we like, it's all mystery, man. What's going to happen after we dead? So religion covers most of the things. It seems like people in the early ages, they were wondering about these things too, and some people created stories, and those stories became religions, and people are following these things, but nobody seems to question outside of this. It's all mystery. If people little bit think beyond the religion, there should be a lot of thinking about what's the purpose of this existence. There should be a lot of thinking, but I think the human mind cannot reach that level so soon, because if you say what's the purpose of this life for an ant, it doesn't know. It just live the life and die. That's how we are to in the big level, because there should be a particular species can be smarter than us, like dinosaurs were smarter than us, and in the future robots can be much smarter than us. So we haven't reached that level, man. We haven't reached the level. What's the purpose of this existence? We don't know. The only thing we can do is just be happy and then die. The happiness should be long term. If you choose short term, you're going to be miserable. See you guys later.